Hey everyone,
Yes, we are. Hi,
Hello.
everybody.
lovely to see you all. We are live again. Shem here, Amondi with Blessed, great unlock crew, part of us. And yeah, we're here to just have another chat. We'll be popping up every day this week, won't we? Well, obviously
Yeah,
Sunday's a Sunday, but yeah, every day this week we're just going to pop in and just share these chats with you all the way up until 22nd, which is when we're going to have that event and
the big
just,
day.
yeah, and share with the community. Last time, I must admit, there was some nerves around there for me. But once I got in and I saw everyone and everyone was just, it was just like a big Sunday chat again. But then, you get to see some faces and it just ended up going way, way deeper and more intimate than I had had an expectation for, but I was extremely grateful to experience it because I don't try and over expect anything, but not that I had any ill feelings towards it. I was just like, don't expect too much, just come in and enjoy. And I did. I enjoyed it more. Like it was powerful for me
Yeah,
personally, but yeah.
yeah. Just stepping in and just doing the thing.
Yeah.
Every time I've done that, if I've ever been in any situation like or maybe timid about it or whatever, just doing the thing, it always feels better. It always feels better.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
That's
And it
true.
was it was good connecting with everybody and then hearing everyone's experiences and
yeah,
it's just yeah, it was lovely. It was lovely. We are such we're I feel like we're in a really lucky space right now to be like part of this bigger wider community of people who are just going through it together. Like I can't
right.
even say it differently than that. We're just going on through it together.
Yeah, really
Yeah.
finding each other, and I feel like there's a real moment. There's a weight to that. It's got its own, almost like it's its own consciousness in a way, but it's like all of us vibing together and creating it. And it's so cool to see all
Yeah.
these different people come out, and it's like, oh, I've had that experience. No, I'm just like that. Or, and you start finding the reasons why we all found each other. It's so cool. So,
Yeah, it is. For
So,
real.
so it's funny. It's Valentine's Day today, isn't it?
Mm-hmm. It
Yeah.
is.
ooh,
So it is really interesting. Well, probably not for the obvious reasons, which we're supposed to celebrate love, but more for the relationship aspect of it. So you've got love here, and then you got the relationship you have that are attached to love, and you have your own relationship portraying to love in itself, how you view love, how you feel love, and how you digest love as well.
mm,
Um, and there's a big impact, but really huge impact actually, when it comes to again another relationship correlating to love, which is finance, money, and the ability to feel free and unlimited. So I
Mm.
thought it would be nice to speak about this today. I think it's really fitting. What do you think, guys?
I
yeah,
think it's more where does it fit in? Where does it fit in for it's that's it's really odd as well. It's like if we vilify it, it doesn't have anything to do with love. But if you see it, if you don't vilify it and you keep it as something that's neutral, like see it for just an energy, then all of a sudden, and I'm not, you see what I'm saying? Then it's just become another energy like everything else here in this paradigm.
Yeah, I mean,
yeah, yeah,
the relationship with it, it's up to you how you define it. Ignoring it doesn't mean it doesn't exist. I mean, you can act like it doesn't. You can act like, well, it doesn't impact you not to be able to do this for Valentine's Day or that for Valentine's Day, or the fact that you still watch the price of the gift you're going to offer you other half.
mm,
We can act like, well, no, it doesn't bother me. But you all this time you have definitely a limit, a budget, A
Yeah.
certain amount you can spend. You can act like it doesn't exist. Doesn't mean it does not exist.
You could be looking at
So
those gifts and going, man, he really wanted that, but oh, that price tag though. Well, I could get
Mm,
this, but then what does it mean if I, only get this instead of what they really wanted? Or, just
right,
all those beliefs that tie in with it. It's a whole bag of knots all wrapped together.
and you start feeling bad because you make it
Right.
about money now.
yeah.
Ooh, how bad are you? You're really bad. You shouldn't make it about money. You should overspend. Matter of fact, would that be genuine though?
Listen, all I know is I've even ever since I was a kid, I've seen finances single-handedly tear up relationships.
Oh yeah.
And depending on each individual's idea of what abundance is and how finance should appear in their life and how they've kind of wrestled with poverty. I mean, everyone's idea of poverty is different, but I don't know about everybody else, but setting can help. This is why they say, oh, it doesn't matter if they always make that joke about, oh, well, if you're wealthy, it doesn't matter if you're not that good looking or if you're not that funny or if you're not that anything because you've got a setting to offer somebody. You have a
Right.
lifestyle to offer somebody. But then there's so many people out there who are just great souls who do not have that finance, who find themselves alone or doing without or being treated less than. And then they have to ask themselves, is this what love is going to look like for me here?
Right. Is there a material aspect to it that's just forever tied and locked to it instead of you being seen for who you are, you're seen for what you can provide or what assets, attributes, whatever you can bring from a material standpoint, which, yeah, that as someone brought up in chat there, number one reason for divorce. Yeah,
Yeah.
it kind of throws a monkey
Yeah.
wrench in the works because you're kind of starting. It's like you're building a foundation on sand right away if you're looking at that stuff, right?
Yeah.
So,
But
So
then also, sorry to
no,
cut
no,
you.
it's okay.
Also, it's a matter of being honest. And this is what I'll say because there's a few people I know that, like a lot of my friends, we've all kind of like got with our prospective partner around about the same time. And it's funny to see how everybody's grown off in their own way with their partners, and what used to be okay for you to accept or be happy with or satisfied with as a teenager or in your early 20s is not going to be the same every decade of your life. And that's male or female.
right.
There just comes a time where, and this was just from observation from very young age, I realized the older you get, it doesn't mean you want it less.
Mm-hmm.
Some people say, oh, they're young, they got the fire in them. Oh, if you think that 60, 70, 80-year-old who has never had that holiday, that dream holiday they had, wants it less than you because you've come limber and nimber, you got another thing coming. Like, it's it's all part of the slave paradigm that we're
Mm-hmm.
all trying to live in. And the more we just look at it like this, like, okay, guys, this whole setup here was to counteract what we're trying to do here. It's anti love, it's anti relationship. So it will be set up to test us.
Right.
How we overlay that in our relationship is going to define how far we take this relationship. Because McDonald's slaps when you're 19, right? And then you're 39 and it's like, happy Valentine's Day. I got you a McBurger King, whatever the fuck ever it's called. And it's like, nah,
McBurger
they ain't
King. I
gonna
like
cut
that
it no
one.
more. And it's like, does that make you ungrateful? Does that make you not loving? What does that bring out in you? And
Well,
how does that affect our relationships?
Right.
well, to your point, um, how can you really? And that's probably why I think that acknowledging the context in which love is experienced is important. You can't bathe in in a paradigm of materialism, and then all of a sudden be like, well, that is not genuine if you think, that having access to sort of financial abundance or material abundance is not really a genuine love. Then there's a contradiction is here. And so let's say, well, fine, you start with McDonald's,
Mm-hmm.
Mac Valentine's, I don't know. Uh, and then everyone wants to grow, right? I don't know no one does grow in a downward spiral. We all want to grow upwards, right? I mean,
Expansion.
ideally, right?
Mm-hmm.
Which mean the material aspect of it has to increase, but usually it doesn't, or not as much, or not as fast as that love grows or should grows, or it's kind of doesn't really catch up. So your feelings, you mean well because you love that person and you really want it to. That love, you feel it growing, but the rest is not following. Although you started it with this basis. So, like you say, Shem, or maybe is that me not being grateful? Is that me? Why do I feel I need more now? And I think essentially because we from very, and I'm talking a lot for this westernized country, but I'm sure the other countries very similar anyways. We live in this paradigm where Valentine's Day has to be celebrated. So if you don't celebrate, what's that make you? Perhaps then you start questioning, maybe I don't do enough. Maybe I need to be the person that, you know, go all out in Valentine's Days, or maybe I don't offer gift throughout the year enough, or you start questioning all these things. But this thing can only be possible if the other aspect of your abundance is fulfilled, where you can be fully abundant yourself. So when you're in a relationship with other people, how can you really provide that when you don't feel the abundance with the relationship you have with yourself? And I
Yeah.
think what it is less blaming the material aspect or someone wanting to have money, but it's more seeing it for what it truly is and what we are doing, what we are doing, what game are we playing, as opposed to ignoring the game and acting like it's not happening and it's all our fault. Why, we can't offer these things or blame your partner or ourselves because we feel like, wow, I still haven't bought a holiday
Right.
or the car of our dreams. And
Right. Well,
Is
and
that
so,
is that a pressure for you? I'm
yeah.
asking you, blessed now.
Oh,
Is that a pressure for you? Has that been a pressure for you in the past? How did that fit in? Because there's a lot of expectations when it comes to how much finance you have to have together, and then to present yourself for love, for what people would say to even be like eligible for
sure.
finding a
Right.
loving
The
relationship.
expectations
Yeah.
that can come in. Yeah. So somehow I've more or less dodged that throughout my own life and my own relationships. I've watched a lot of friends have to go through that. Uh, and it kind of contradicts the idea of love in general, right? Because if you have these expectations on someone that you are then going to resent them for if they can't meet because you still want to be with them, then you're kind of like setting the whole thing up for failure right away. It's okay to have expectations. It's okay to say, hey, this is where my bar is and I'm comfortable here. And if it drops, then I'm not so comfortable anymore. Like, okay, well, fine, fair enough. But I would suggest that imposing those upon someone else, are you doing those as well? Because if you're not, then those expectations you've imposed on someone else are going to backfire every single time. If you can't live that yourself, how can you expect that from what you're getting on the outside? The inside has to match the outside. So when it comes to any kind of expectations like that, my relationships, the girlfriends I've had, they were just happy as all could be that we just got together and did something out of the ordinary on Valentine's Day, for example. Like that was enough. They're like, yeah, woo, we went to the park and shot little bottle things off and ate some heart-shaped chocolates or something like that. That was enough, because it was just novel. But you attract where you're at too. So, like if you're in a position, male, female, doesn't matter, where you feel like you're getting into relationships, and you end up kind of resenting the other person because they're not matching up, or they're resenting you because you're not matching up to them, or whatever else. Maybe around times like today, it's good to just stop and reflect without judgment, and just be like, where is this coming from? Why do I keep seeing this? Because if you can identify that and kind of work yourself through it, go through the cycle of forgiveness and all of that, maybe next time you won't see that anymore, and maybe it'll be a much better relationship. So
Mm.
yeah, you gotta be careful with the expectations, I would say. As long as you're honest about them and you can live up to them yourself, I'd say those are probably healthy that way. I don't know, what do you guys think?
I really actually like what you said, and this reminds me of the idea of not the idea. Actually, that reminds me how everything is constructed and how tied to the current paradigm it is. So basically, I can see how basically when you get married, you have to be registered. Um, I don't know what you guys are calling it in the US, but there's obviously in France we say in the mairie, which is the council, and you register your marriage there. You have to pay a fee, and it's expected of you to prepare for that. So I would say, yeah, there's a part that's less financial or less tied to money, but that part I'm talking about that is less tied to money. It's the part where you have to physically bind this union to these structures, and these structures run the whole system.
Right.
So you couldn't just say basically it's you admitting that me getting married and register my marriage there is more valid than me just saying, oh, I'm getting married to my wife or my husband, and that is we do a ceremony, and that matters more because it doesn't, because of the way the structures are in place. So it's
Right.
always
You can't just do some
uh
Cracker Jack box rings and
yeah.
you know.
So this expectation are always
I mean, you
basically
could, but
and maybe not a lot of people wouldn't dare do that because of the expectation, the judgment, and stuff like that. But as long as we are tied to the system,
Mhm.
then we have to acknowledge that our relationship by default do run with these influences,
Right,
with these
right.
influences.
Because
So we can't ignore it, because when you
yeah,
begin to ignore it, you start blaming each other
yeah, yeah.
because
Ignoring
you're
is not the
yeah.
answer. If you can
The,
acknowledge it and decide, both of you decide you're not going to participate, knowing, here in America, okay, well, that you get a not so insignificant tax break, if you are officially married, and this, that, and the other. Um, and if you acknowledge that, and then you do just stick with the Cracker Jack rings, and you're good with that, for example, cool. But you are part of this paradigm in the game. Like, this is the veneer over the top of the game, and you got to engage with it here and there. So yeah, you gotta be conscious of those things, because most people, I would suggest, would review it and just be like, okay, well, we're gonna make this official as far as this silly thing called the state is concerned, because it's gonna give us this benefit, that benefit, but we're not gonna let that taint our expectations of the marriage.
Mm.
exactly.
Because you can't, just because you're agreeing to participate doesn't mean that you have to take all the baggage that other people are throwing on that term, or live
Exa-
as per someone else's rules for your life. So
Yeah, exactly. And so that leads me to talk about also now the influence of all these different trends. Uh, so you're in a relationship, now you're having a baby. That's not the baby showers is coming through. I mean, it's still a very new thing, but this is now almost socially expected for you to throw one. So it's like a
right.
bit like the version of the christening, and all this stuff. And your partner might be upset with you if you decide, I don't want to pour money into that. I don't want to do any of that. That I'm not, because it will be like, then maybe you're not really considering our relationship and what it means. It's all entirety. It's our union, and there's a lot of things are tied to that. So you do also have to evaluate which type of person you're with as well,
Yes.
and what the expectation from that person is. And it's funny how it became kind of a a game where we have expectation for one another, and then
Right.
we bounce these expectations off of one another,
Mm-hmm.
and then and it becomes that, and that is a very dangerous um, game. I think it's like a ticking time bomb,
It
because
is. It's hot
if you,
potato, right? You're throwing the bomb
Yeah.
back and forth, waiting
yeah.
for it to go off in your face.
So point being is, what happens when you can't afford any of this stuff? Even if you say, well, love is love and you have nothing to see with it. How can you know? Most of people are practicing this.
Right.
What
Yeah.
do you do? How do you move forward?
Well,
Or they, I mean, not there, but if you ever want to change career and involve a time of your life where money is not flowing, it's not going to flow, what impact is going to have in your relationship?
right.
What the
And if,
limitation was set in place for that?
yeah, and did going back to the building the foundation on sand or on solid ground or what have you, like I would suggest that as you're going into a relationship with the intent to get married, have a family, and all of that, and whatever your expectations are or intentions are, even for the relationship, like you got to lay those on the line right away. Number one. Number two, realize you're going to have all manner of wild cards throughout your lives that are just going to happen. And can you see this other individual that you're with on like a soul level? Can you love them just because of exactly who they are in any given moment, even if it's something that may just, oh, you as the actor, oh, you're just like, oh, they do that thing, and they snore or they chew with their mouth open or something, like whatever it is. But can you still acknowledge that love you have for them no matter what? Because that's in there, that's in each and every one of us. And if you can acknowledge that, see it in them, and vice versa, like you can go pretty far on that without material wealth, without having the house of your dreams or the car of your dreams or whatever else. So I know that kind of removes the material equation, or the material variable from the equation. But I mean, really, if you want to get down to the root of it, I would say that's where it all starts. And then the material is just kind of like this wonderful icing on the cake at that point.
I think you can have an agreement with your partner, but it's to let go of the idea that it's their responsibility to make you financially
Yes.
comfortable for you to love them. You have to
Yeah.
hear what you're saying. So it's not their responsibility. Ultimately, it's not, unless you believe so, and that's okay. But then it's conditional. It's very conditional love.
Hmm.
Because if none of these things meet, then you know what happened. Innit?
And do you want to live the next 3, 5, 10, 40 years of your life with that looming over you the whole time?
It's a bit like a gift as opposed to a gesture, I would say, where you do a gesture not because you're forced to do it, just because you love that person and you want to do it. But the
Right.
minute you're forced,
Hmm.
it don't
It's
mean the
different.
same.
Hits different. Yep.
It hits different.
I'm asking because I just wanted to hear you guys' perspective, because I know that for me to act like there's no societal pressure when it comes to finance and
Providing.
the expectation of the provider providing, and that always happens to be put on the masculine energy or the male energy first. And then, though it's changing, it's been changing for a while now, a couple decades now, it has been.
Mhm.
But when shit hits the fan, they still look at the dude. Well, if you're in a male female relationship, they still look at the dude like, bruh.
When the piano needs to go up the stairs.
Yeah, or the spider needs to be squished. They're like,
Sure.
bruh, you running from spiders. And where I do now ask you to go and get the spiders, I don't expect that you should collect all the spiders. Sometimes I do. But it's this expectation thing you guys are saying. and I get it. I just wanted to hear what your take was on it, because we we play a good game here in round one about this love thing until the chips are down
Mm,
and the bills have to be paid, and the heads start turning slowly, like
right. Yeah. Is it? Can
the
you? Are
Chucky
you
doll in the
still?
corner.
Are you still good in that moment together?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's. I know. Just speaking personally, I love to provide. I love. That's a great feeling to be able to do that. It doesn't have to strictly be like through my salary or some kind of monetary thing, like even just provide like i I made a silly little out of PVC piping and these tiny wheels that go on the sides of light riding lawnmowers. I don't know if you guys have them across the pond, but just
Hmm.
I made this little doggy wheelchair for a past girlfriend of mine. Had an old dog that just wasn't doing too hot, and I barely got that thing working. Like it was a ramshackle hodgepodge, but like she loved that, and I felt good doing it, even though it didn't have to be like, here's $200, go buy one, or whatever. So as far as like when the chips are down or whatever, can you just make do with what you got? Like, well, this will work. I just glue these things together, and as long as he doesn't do any extreme downhill racing, I think it'll be fine. So,
Do you
so
know?
yeah. I
I was
guess it's
just
an opportunity, right? It's like an
It
opportunity, an
is.
alchemizing moment. So
It
I was
is.
actually going to talk about the idea of providing, and the idea of providing, um, it's pretty much dictated by the current system matrix or whatever you want to call it. You only provide money for rent or mortgage repayment, whatever you want to call it,
mhm.
because you only need to do that. So it's no more a point where you are providing because you love to provide. You provide because you have to provide, or you are taught you must provide.
Right.
Um,
Yes. Especially that one.
then it's not far from slavery.
Hmm.
It's an obligation.
Yep.
Now, all of a sudden, because in terms of providing, what the act of providing, look what it is, the actual act of it, the purest act of it. But if you put that same act under certain conditions, it becomes something else
Mm,
very quickly.
yeah, can.
And if you expect somebody else to set these conditions for you, then you're asking for someone to look outside of themselves and you too, because you're providing for somebody else that expect you to provide. Therefore, you feel good, but then you feel good because you just got the approval you wanted.
Yes. Are you getting a head pat, or is it coming from in here because it's what you actually wanted to do?
Right.
Like, good job, Sonny. You followed the 5-step plan.
It's a lovely thing to offer gifts. It really is. But just you can very quickly in this current life start offering gift because it's Christmas, because it's
Hmm.
Valentine's Day, because it's someone's birthday.
It's exactly
As a
what you were pointing to. Are you doing it because it makes you feel good, or are you doing it because it's expected of you? You know, because
Yeah.
you maybe you give gifts because you just like doing it. Well, now Christmas hits and everybody just expects you to do it. Well, now it feels way different. Like, ugh.
exactly. So
Yeah.
that to say, if you think about the idea of manifesting and how abundance is important, specifically in relationship being in your full abundance, it doesn't have to look one way. It can look in many ways, but that's for us to show the ways during these events. It's
Yes.
just that if you're in your full abundance, I wouldn't wait for Christmas to offer a gift. I
Right.
would not wait for Valentine's Day to do so.
Or
Right.
for any other
Or
system to tell me when I can or can't do anything.
Exactly.
but how
Agreeing
do
to
you
be controlled if you do it
why?
that way.
Yeah.
So the pace in which you experience your relationships, you have to ask yourself that if you are dictating that pace or if it's dictated by somebody else.
Hmm.
Essentially, the system currently in place.
Yeah. Because even something as little as the first time you say to somebody else that you love them, who dictates that? Because for a while, I didn't tell my friends for a long time that I said anything, because they'd be like, girl, you wilding out here.
Yeah.
You do not know this guy from a can of paint. Like, this is dangerous. This is wildly dangerous. You're delusional.
Right. It's like being careful who you share good news with, because you don't want them to just poop on your new idea right away, or what have you. It's the same kind of deal.
It's the same deal. But what I've realized is a lot of this experience that I've chosen to live has been lived on the fringes of what society would call normal. And that was amplified when I met Amondi, because we were alike. So the abnormal shit got turned up. Like, it was just, it's like, oh, I got some abnormal shit to do with someone else.
You guys inflamed each other's weird. You just raised the weird.
It's just like,
it goes far. It goes far. I can give you a couple of examples.
Yeah, like doing things that are outside the norm of our culture, doing things that were outside of the norm of what is expected of our age group,
Oh, sure.
of our class status, if you go by that still, of our all of these other tripe images that you could imagine go on the overlay of what they think that your identity or your gender or whatever should be doing at a certain time of your life. By this age, you should do this. By that age, that should happen to you. And low key, you can put these expectations on yourself, and then when the time comes, you're disappointed because you didn't hit that mark.
Right.
And it creeps up on you and like, hang on a minute, I'm blah 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 age. Apparently, I should have my blah 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 together. How does that?
According to whom? You know?
Yeah, and you start looking for reason as far as why it didn't happen, material aspect. And if you're not too careful, you'll blame somebody. There'll be somebody else's fault.
Feels good to blame someone who's going to forgive you.
Right. Anyways, Jay Shaw said something that is really relevant to what we're talking about. And he said and I like how he said it because he put an emoji like this. From sharing each other's realities to providing. Yes. And say you're late. Look, yeah, that's what we're doing this, Jay, because but how do you get to that point where
a lot of people ain't where you at, Jay?
Right? Not only you understand that, but you move away from this thing, because if you do things specifically now in these times, if you think running a relationship where you expect to be provided for, it's the best things. I'm promising you, how the tightening is happening, financially speaking, it's going to become harder and harder for people to provide basic stuff. It's already started. So I'm not sure it's specifically if you're already in a relationship, it's the best step forward. Because the last I checked, prices aren't going down, things aren't being cheaper. So the same holidays you used to have, you may or may not be able to still afford them, or not at the price you used to,
It's like everyone's getting a crash course on what's important right now, like on a societal level, because things are shaken down and they're gonna fall away, all of it, at an institutional level. And like, as it starts falling away, what really matters now, like.
And deciphering as well what happened, like you're saying, basically expecting the male energy to provide, abundance is actually not a male energy. So you can see where the confusion can also be. It's pretty much a feminine energy to begin with.
But this is why when the balance was originally thrown off, this is how we found ourselves here. So now we're kind of recalibrating. everyone's realizing, oh, so I once I balance that within myself, I'm good to go. Like whether
Yeah,
I do this solo or whether I do this with someone, as long as I stay balanced, we might be able to do this. We might be able to do this without so much panic and fighting and infighting as well. Because that's
yeah,
the
that,
thing.
Yeah.
A lot of that is what can make you a fight that has nothing to do with you. And
Yeah.
a lot of it is you
What have you
applying
willingly
other
picked up
people's, yeah, and
and now
said, this
just
is
thrown on your
horrible.
back? And
Yep,
yeah.
we're gonna go by this. We didn't have nothing to do with making it, and it doesn't suit either of us, but we're gonna go and try and fit ourselves into this box that someone else
Yes.
made.
Yeah, that's what it is, right? You're squishing yourself down.
Yep. And Jay saying go back to the original union.
yeah. Jay be coming for people. I gotta saying, yo,
No,
Jay.
no. That's just
No,
he.
no,
That's
no.
just
Hold on.
that's his banter.
Not saying no. I love it. It's all love. Okay, it's all love. No, I'm saying not saying I love chocolate. uh,
We all do that.
Hey, I love dark
That's
chocolate
actually great.
myself. It's so
I love
good.
chocolate, which is the greatest things about Valentine's Day. And Jay say, "You're a girl, of course you like chocolate." I'm not a girl, Jay, but chocolate is my thing. I actually bought some today, but I don't like. I guess the difference is maybe. I'm not saying stuff. It's stuff for you, and that's not what I'm saying. But I don't. If you indulge yourself into the thing you love for yourself, then the likelihood that people will offer you these things is higher, is greater, because all you're saying to the universe, I love it, I just get some
I
for
love
myself.
chocolate.
Yeah, you open your arm and you're not trying to decide how it's coming, but you're not trying to be in the waiting list for someone to offer you chocolate for that particular day.
Yeah, but then
So
lo and behold, next week comes by, Ferrero Rochers just start dropping out
right,
the
yeah.
sky for her. She's abundant out here.
So I think redefining like you say, the balance, Shem, about have this masculine feminine energy where you could use your intuition and then strike these align action with your male side, whether
Masculine.
your masculine side. Apologies, I'm French, sometimes I confuse the two. What I'm saying is, so like I was in the shop today and I was feeling like, I feel like chocolate. And that had nothing to see with Valentine's Day.
And I said, of course you do. We're in the shops. There's never been a time we go in the grocery store and he don't feel like chocolate. He thinks this is news to
like
me.
chocolate
This
for
ain't
some
news to
reason.
me.
No, but what I'm saying is,
Oh, look, there's chocolate right here. Oh, wow.
I just
Oh, surprise.
I just went and get it, but in the sense that I was gifting myself something.
Of course you were.
No, but
That's why I
but-
bought
but
daffodils
you
today.
get right, and you did that for the flowers, exactly.
Yeah. And it's got nothing to do with Valentine's Day.
But I'm just saying, like bringing more of these aspects into your life can make a huge difference,
Yeah.
and like take down this tension that you're experiencing because you feel like someone ain't meeting your requirement.
Meet your own requirements and see your partner for the soul they are.
Yeah. Well, that's really what it all boils down to, right? Like going back to that seeing the the love soul to soul idea, even from there, what do you want the relationship to look like? How do you define it? Like, who cares about all the other stuff going on? Like, define it as you wish and just do that. If you were in a relationship with somebody else and you want a mansion on a beach with a friggin' yacht next to it, cool. That at least you're both on the same page. Like, it's up to you. But
Yeah,
you're not putting those expectations out there without being in resonance with one another about it, So,
Yeah.
and you can
I
do
love
anything,
that.
literally anything, if you're just both vibing at the same level. Like, you will do more together than you would have done individually on your own, right? Like, two people coming together to do something like that, you're going to make more than two people's worth of creation of energy, however you'd like to put it. So,
Yeah, that's that original peers energy. I love that.
yeah.
I really do. So I see the time ticking now. See, this is what I'm saying. We could go for so much longer, but
Malek is not here to.
she's not here, and I promised her we won't. I
He
said we
promised her.
won't. We won't. I said I promise.
look,
So, another thing I'd like to mention before we leave is, if you do want, what Bless is now opening up his mentorship one-on-one. So if you just want to inquire and just, shoot him an email, or you can catch him on Discord. If you're on the Sovereign Souls Discord, you can catch him there. But links are in the description. He does one-on-one mentorships, and
basically
he's open
just
to it.
just the idea of everybody's to varying degrees got some form of crap in their life that they're dealing with that might keep them kind of coming back around to a certain thing, and they're like, man, why does this keep happening? Or some mental hitch, some belief that's catching them when they go to do anything. I'm just offering just to, like, hey, this is what's helped me, this is what I found in my own research, and let's apply this to you and get you into a better state too, because it's all about empowering people. I just want everybody to be Superman, Superwoman at this point. So if I can help you get there, sweet, let's do it. So
that's lovely. So links
So
are
you
in
heard it.
descriptions. Also, guys, thank you for yesterday. I go live on my channel for my readings, and the vibes was vibing as always. Jay, Creo, Deanna, you'll always swing by. Heiko, I know, just so many of you. Thank you. It's a vibe. And if you want a one-on-one reading from me, links in the description as well. And of course, the Great Unlock is coming up this month, the 22nd. And we'll be talking all things manifestation in the love and abundance department. The love for yourself, the love for others, and your connection with Source. All right. So with that, guys,
Well, I'm looking forward to the event, to see you
Yes.
guys there. And yeah, you'll see us live again.
Yeah. And happy Valentine's Day, everyone.
Yes.
However you
yours.
decide
To you all.
to take it, even if it's just another Saturday, then happy Saturday.
and treat yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do one nice thing for yourself today.
That's
Yeah.
it.
Just do a little treat. Just a little treat.
All right, guys. Love to you all.
Much
See
love,
ya.
everyone.
Yo, ciao.
Bye.
Bye.